All right, well, we'll get started here, and I'll just have to stop if I see people trying to get on. But thank you for getting on tonight. It's so good to see everybody across the miles. Gosh, it just seems like forever, doesn't it? Oh,
Mhm.
but it's so good that you're here. Thank you for taking time out of your night to get on this call. Casey had a great idea to do a kickoff call. And if you want to do weekly calls this month, like I'm so open to that. Sometimes
Mhm.
it is just nice to connect face to face and ask questions that way rather than, always being in the message thread. So if you guys want to do that, yeah, we can find a
I like
time.
the idea.
If Sundays don't work, I mean, I'm very flexible. So, but I know many of you have families, so that can be kind of challenging with bedtime. So, but anyway, thank you for your willingness to want to commit to Team Cup. I love Team Cup. It's such a great opportunity for both new coaches and veteran coaches just to grow and develop, not just with your coaching, but just as people and for our team to connect. I think we really need that. Just more than ever, we need it. So anyway, I know a lot of us know each other, but let's just go around and introduce ourselves so we can kind of connect a little bit better here. Just your name, where you're from, how long you've been coaching, and maybe who your upline coach is. And then we'll get into the details about Team Cup. So I'll start. I'm Jenny Larson, and I am originally from Minnesota, grew up in South Central Minnesota, and then we moved to Southwest Minnesota, where we lived the last 20 years, and then moved across country to Missouri City, Texas, a year ago already. And that's a suburb of Houston. And yeah, been here for a year already. It goes by fast. And I have been doing Beachbody fitness and nutrition programming for going on 6 years and coaching for 4. And my upline coach is Emily No.
I'm Kayla, and I live outside of Hendricks, originally from Marshall, Minnesota. I have been an active coach for 2.5 years, and Jenny is my upline.
Is there a certain order on your screen, Jenny? Or just happen whenever?
Yeah, happen whenever.
Okay, I'm Casey. Kayla's my upline coach, and I've been coaching, I guess it's been 2 years. I think. I can't even remember now. But yeah, I live outside Hendricks, Minnesota, and we just bought a house, so that's exciting.
Oh my gosh, congratulations.
Yeah, thanks. It's been busy. Next.
I'll go. I'm Carla Sloan Hogan. I'm originally from Montevideo, live in Tracy now, and I've been a coach for maybe a couple months, like pretty new. So, and Jenny is my upline.
Well, I'm Krista, and I live in Vesta, and Casey would be my coach, and I am new to all this too, so here to try to figure it all out.
Right, yay.
Melissa, I live in Marshall. We lived in Tracy for a while. I'm originally from Okabena. I've been coaching for maybe a month. I don't know. And my upline is Jenny.
And I'm Laura. I live in Salt Lake City, Utah. And I've done programs since last summer. And I'm really pretty new to coaching, just starting that. And Casey is my coach.
Yay. And I know Nikki is muted, but Nikki is from Marshall, and she's a busy mama of 2, and she's a teacher. And she, well, her story is she was on another team, but they were an active team. So she reached out to me this past summer and joined our team. And yeah, it was in July with MBF. So
Yeah, she said that she's laying in bed with her toddler.
There we go.
Trying to sleep. Started with Beachbody in May of 2018, but began more actively coaching this summer.
Yes, yes. And she is a success starter. So I just got the email last week. She gets to be in Shaun T's new best group program. Yes, the new dance program. So she'll be our inside scoop on
Gonna have to
excited
move.
about that. So
That'll be fun.
yes. And then we've got Christina Lustfield, and she is not with us tonight, but she is from the Marshall area. And her and I, honestly, we've never met face to face. We've just connected. We talked for a long time. She loves Beachbody and she loves the products, and she just wanted to get a discount and help pay for her products and programs. And she has friends that have expressed interest. So that's why she wanted to get a part of Team Cup. So anyway.
Yep.
But,
And then Krista Enoch also, she's
Oh,
from
yeah.
Colorado. So those two are in our other time zone, Salt Lake City and Colorado. So,
yeah.
and I'm not sure how long she's been coaching. I did some push groups with her. That was already this past summer. So I know she's been coaching at least that long, but I'm not sure how long
Yeah.
entirely.
Yeah. Yeah, she's a sweetheart.
Yes.
Well, let's see here. Well, Team Cup, just a little background about Team Cup. So this is something that Beachbody facilitates 2 times a year, once during the month of February and then also during the month of August. So they offer incentives with rewards. You've probably gotten emails about all of that, where they really encourage us to really collaborate together on our individual teams and help each other move forward in our coaching business, whether it just be getting started or if you're a veteran and really, building a team. But this is something that we do in our larger Team YBF throughout the entire year. We do what are called push groups, and many of you have been a part of them. Kayla and Casey have been a part of them. So those are just smaller groups. Again, we're working together collaboratively. It's just coaches. And we support each other in our individual goals so that we can move forward in them. So if you love Team Cup, know that this is something that you can be a part of. We don't call it Team Cup. We call them push groups. That's part of our larger Team YBF, founded by Emily Nolan, who is my upline coach. But we work together and help each other progress, if that makes sense. So anyway, so Team Cup, we are each going to set individual goals. I did post about that. So we'll share, if you would be willing, in our thread, just what some of your goals are this month. Maybe it's just to get familiar with your coach office or help your first, customer get going, with the programming into a bod group. Maybe it is to continue to build your team. Like, everybody's goals are going to be different. But we're going to support each other in working towards those goals, just like in a challenge group. It's very, very similar. I mean, it's daily support, motivation, accountability. We're just going to work in a message thread. And that's how we've done it in the past. There are 10 of us. So we were a little bit on the fence about, should we do it in a message thread or should we do like another Facebook group? But we went back and forth about it and decided we're going to try the thread. So we'll be sharing, okay? Sharing resources, sharing basically just about the vital behaviors that coaches do that help them build a business. And they're very small behaviors that we do that just, they add up over time, okay? So I'm gonna share my screen here and I will send this to you. Let's see here, if I can find it. Give me a sec.
While you're doing that, another goal is just to start reaching out to people, because that can be scary and a lot of you are new.
Yeah.
So, I mean, just to have that goal of starting to reach out to people or putting your first post on social media or whatever.
Absolutely.
And that's the other thing we can use the message thread for, especially for you new people. That first post that you put out is like, makes your heart jump through your throat sometimes. So if you want to let us know when you put it on there, we can do our best to find your post right away to give you some love on there, because that first post is always really scary.
Yes, very good point. So, the first vital behavior I couldn't find on my desktop is just basically be proof that the products and programs work. And you're already doing that. So it's, not just sharing about it in the BOD group, but like Casey said, putting yourself out there a little bit. It wouldn't have to be a post, but a lot of us do post out on social media. But sharing on your story, you probably have watched us, those 15-second clips through Instagram and Facebook, just sharing about our wellness journey. And we share about other things. It's not just wellness on our stories. And we'll talk about that throughout the month. But people who watch those stories consistently, those who comment on your posts about wellness, our groups, those are the people that you're going to want to invite to our group. So that first vital behavior is one that is easy because we're already doing it, doing our workouts, using the products, following a nutrition program, just sharing about it. And then the second vital behavior, and this is what we'll focus on this week, is just being proof that the products and programs work. And the second behavior is just to invite. So basically inviting to our challenge groups or our BOD groups. And I think all of us have BOD groups starting very soon. My group, we're starting on the 8th. Kayla and Casey, when is your next group starting?
I think it's the same, isn't it, Casey? I can't. I'll have to look.
Okay. Well, anyway, you'll want to invite to the February group, okay? And that's really going to be the focus this week. That's what I'm doing this week, is really doing a lot of inviting. I'll go hard because I have something to invite to. We run our groups in rounds. Most of us run them in monthly rounds. And the reason we do that is because we want to have something to invite to. We want to have a call to action, okay? I mean, I have people throughout the whole month, but the majority I'm helping like right now and into this week. And then after that, I'm doing other vital behaviors. So it's really kind of a cycle, if you will. But having that continuous, going into new groups, that's what helps you keep your business going, is inviting. And then, of course, following up with people. And we'll talk about that, how to handle, if someone tells you no, or some of the objections. That's where that message thread is going to be really helpful. Where we can be sharing about maybe a no that somebody gave you, and you could send us a screenshot in that thread, and then we can help you kind of overcome some of those objections, okay? And then once you get challengers into a group and you start your own group, and again, this would be long-term, then the next vital behavior is just to help people get results. And then the fourth vital behavior is to do personal development. So we talk a lot about in our challenge groups about, listening to podcasts. Many of us, all of us, I would guess, working coaches are listening to the National Wake Up Call. So that was that recording that I shared with you in the thread. So that's every Monday. And they feature coaches, all level of coaches. They've really been featuring just some younger coaches, like starting coaches lately. It hasn't been like, your 5 and 10 and 15 star diamonds. It's been new coaches, which has been really inspiring. So I highly recommend, make that a priority. And I always listen to the recording. It's on the Facebook group. It's 411, the Beachbody 411. They always have the replay, but they'll give you a notification when it goes live on Monday. But I know most of you are probably working, so you'll catch the replay, but they are fantastic.
It is also a podcast too.
Okay.
So if you're on a run or a walk or whatever, it does work to not be on Facebook too, because it's a podcast on its own. I don't remember what it's called, but I've done it that way many times too. Good.
Thank you for sharing that, because I haven't done it that way. So there's lots of different ways that you can listen to the replay. And typically you'll see that the replay is on Team YBF, not always, but there's different places to access that. But we'll share in our thread also this month some of our favorite personal development, whether it's a book or a podcast. I was probably I was really resistant to personal development when I started. Emily would tell me over and over about it. And when I would be struggling, she would say to me, "Are you doing your personal development?" And I wasn't. And she's like, "Well, that's why, because in order to help other people, grow and develop, you have to be doing that yourself, and you have to be kind of pouring into yourself that way so that you can pour into others, if that makes sense. It's just like you know, with your wellness, like you need that so you can be your best self. Like I feel like I need that personal development in order to be like a better coach, if that makes sense. Do you
And
want
if you find the right one, it puts you in the right mindset too to start doing those invites. Because a lot of times you're in your own head, like, well, that person's probably not going to respond to me anyway, so I'm just not even going to message them. I mean, why, right? So there's a lot of podcasts out there. Brendan Burchard's one of them. He just like, he always has something, and it's in his voice. He's always like upbeat about everything he talks about. And he just is one for me personally that can fire me up to actually want to do something for coaching or other things too. But you want to find one, or if it's music too. I mean, that's not technically personal development, but you kind of have to find a way to get in your mojo so that you want to send those messages or get you pumped up to put that post out or whatever you need to do.
Right. And also we have what are called power hours. There's lots of different things, and you kind of have to figure out what works for you. But through our platinum presenters, and again, we'll share about this throughout the month. I don't want to bombard you with tons of information. I want to like drip like throughout the whole month. But there's a lot of great resources, but Platinum Presenters offers these power hours. I mean, where you can practice these vital behaviors and send out invites. But we're going to share, us coaches are going to share with you here. So you have some things to go off of. I have some scripts I will share with you tonight that you can just print out. You can tweak them how you want, so it sounds like you, and you can start inviting to our challenge group, you know, whether it's through a text or Facebook or Instagram messaging or just like face to face, like just invite to the opportunity. And I always thought, like, I don't want to sell, like, I don't want to be salesy, right? No, it's not selling, it's inviting to an opportunity. Okay. Just like you would share about your favorite babysitter or whatever you're excited about that's really helped you. You want that for others. So you're just sharing about it and informing about what it is. And then they can decide if it's something that they want to do or not. And if they don't, like, no hurt feelings, you know, but just sharing about it. And you do that in lots of different ways, whether it's through a post on social media or your stories or reaching out to someone. And, you know, we'll talk about this too. You know, you're going to have to reach out to people multiple times, more than likely, before they will join. And that's just part of this. But I think it's what makes it rewarding. You know, it's challenging, but that's the reward. And I think, you know, most of us, we're all service minded. Like, look at all of us, like we're all teachers and social workers. Like we find so much reward in helping people. And that's really our mission, is just to help people live their best lives, mind, body, spirit, and be that facilitator for healthy change. And I don't know, I mean, I've had tears over just messages from people saying, thank you for making an impact on my life. And some of those were the people that told me no for probably going on, you know, 1 or 2 years. A lot of the ladies that I'm signing up to join here in February are ladies that I've talked to for a long time, but it's so rewarding because they're ready to commit. And not everybody takes that long. I mean, everybody is different. But that's, I think, what makes it so rewarding is just, yeah, the impact that you can make. So anyway, so we're going to share on that thread, and we'll set goals, and we'll just help each other, you know, just stay accountable to working towards those goals. You know, Beachbody is going to assign points to all these things that we do. And I'll share about that, you know, whether you sign up someone with a challenge pack or, you know, you have a coach sign up. But I mean, really, at the end of the day, it's about helping people. Okay. So I don't know. Success Club is great and it is an indicator of success, but it's not the end all to be all. And so I just want you to know that it's bigger than that. And so just try and not get consumed in that, if that makes sense. Cause I know, like, when I started Team Cup, I was so held back because I was like, well, I don't want to let my team down if I don't get any points. And it's not about that, okay? So if you don't get any points, it's not a big deal. Did you learn something? Did you, make steps towards achieving some of those goals that you set at the beginning of the month? If you did, then it's a win, okay? So I know they'll send these email updates with, how many points each person on our team has, but honestly, guys, it's so much bigger than that. So Kayla, is there anything that I have forgotten? You've been on Team Cup multiple times. Is there something that I've forgotten?
I don't think so. I think you did a good job explaining everything. And like you said, you don't want to overwhelm everyone either. But yeah, I think it's just, let's have fun and communicate. And I know I need this because I've been really slacking on inviting for sure. But yeah, so I'm excited to get back in the groove of things. And yeah, I'm excited that we have a bunch of new people. So, and definitely if you guys have questions, like no question is like a dumb question. I'm still learning lots too. So definitely if you guys have questions, just put it in the thread and we'll figure it out.
Absolutely. What else was I gonna say? There was something else and now I forgot.
The other group that has good trainings is Beachbody Champions. It's on Facebook,
Yeah.
but they've got power hours too. So I think it's just called Beachbody Champions. I don't know if there's anything else with that, but anyway, is it in the file section where you can find all the power hours? Do you remember? It's somewhere in there.
Yeah, it has to be. I'd have to go back and look, but that's another site. There's so many resources. You have your coach office. And honestly, ladies, you can train and train and train and watch all these things, but honestly, just put stuff into action, start inviting.
I was just gonna say that.
There, I was guilty of that. I was like, well, I got to watch all of those getting started videos before I can even start. No, just start. Like, just like wellness, like you're not going to feel ready. You just start. It's going to be messy. It's okay. Everything's figure outable. You fail forward. And it's so cool. Like how much you learn and you overcome and you just, I don't know, you become such a stronger, more confident person because of all of it. So, and we're here to support you, okay? That's really what the thread is for. And I've learned so much from these groups that we've been a part of. So, I think what I'll do is, if you're okay with this, is we can talk about what we want this to look like for us. We'll post what our goals are, but would you like check-ins, like to kind of hold yourself accountable? Like, how often would you like them? Every day? Is that too much? What do you want that to look like? Because I'm glad to support how you want, but I don't want to be overwhelming. I know you all have jobs, so we want to make it manageable, but we also want to help you take steps forward to build this too.
We could put in the group thread the regular tracker from Beachbody just so everyone can find it.
Yep, you can do that.
And then I don't know, then you actually have like a checklist of things that you're should kind of supposed to be doing during the week.
Okay.
But that's something that you can kind of track to see to make sure you're actually doing the things, because we didn't create a tracker for the group. We've had that for our push groups before, but didn't feel the need to do it for this really. So
yeah,
paper pencil is also good though too, because I still use paper pencil all the time. So that's what I have here. Yeah.
Did you know
that's what the tracker looks like right there.
It is electronic, and I am like still paper pencil. I work on lists. You guys, seriously, this is what it looks like.
Yeah.
Some are really tech savvy and they have their spreadsheets and all that, but I have my lists and my Post-it notes. But this is huge, this tracking system. I'll put that in there. I don't want to bombard you. Like, just be proof that the products and programs work. Start inviting. We'll work into the other behaviors throughout the month. And if you feel ready, like, we'll help you get going with all of them if you want. But that's the big one, I think, for this week, since we have groups coming up. So, well, I'll just kind of feel it out here with like kind of checking in at least a few times a week. And sharing, of course, every day. Do you want to do like a weekly call? Yes.
I think so.
And if you can get on, great. And if you can't, I mean, it's not the end of the world. Don't worry about it. And I'll do a recording. But I do think it is nice just to see each other face to face and then kind of talk about some different things that come up. We can kind of,
Even just to talk about how you're feeling about things,
yes.
because a lot of times, like it's a kind of an emotional thing sometimes. I mean, so just to talk through some of those things is sometimes helpful so that we can
Mhm.
figure out where you're at and then help you figure out where to go next. Sometimes it's easier to do that face to face versus a message thread. So
Yeah. Definitely. Well, I will plan Sundays. Do you want to go for Sunday?
I like this time.
Is 8:30 okay? Okay.
Yeah.
I think
like-
so.
That's what we've done. We've done 8:30 on Sundays in the past, and it seems to work for the majority. So, yes. All right. What time is it? Well, I want to be respectful of time too, and I know it's like 9 o'clock. So I'm excited. This is so great. We have so many people wanting to do this, and I hope that the group helps and serves you, just like our wellness, like our challenge groups. That at the end of the month you feel like you've learned a lot and you've grown and you've made some connections, you know. If you're not friends with each other here on Facebook, and we'll have to connect that way. And yeah, start following each other, getting ideas that way, and we'll just have fun with it. So, all right. I'm gonna say,
Does anyone have questions?
yes, questions.
Have an idea of where to start? Maybe.
I'll send. I've been part of a push group called Project Elevate. So I've gotten actually some great new invite scripts, part of that. And then of course, part of Platinum Presenters, we'll share about this. They have so much. I still don't know all that there is in Platinum Presenters, but it's amazing. So, but when you're inviting, just keep the messages short. We'll talk about that. Always end with a question so you can keep a conversation going. So, yeah. All right, I'm snapping a picture. All right. All right. Here's to a great month. I can't wait for February. All right. See you
All right.
later. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye.